The re-election of Donald Trump as President of the United States has set the stage for a dramatic shift in global economic dynamics. For the European Union, one of the United States' largest trading partners, this political development raises serious questions about the future of transatlantic relations. As energy crises intensify and trade disputes loom large, the stakes have never been higher. So how will the EU navigate these choppy waters, and what strategies can it employ to safeguard its economic stability? Before we dive in, if you find this content insightful, give it a like and share it with others who enjoy breaking down complex topics in global economics. Your support helps us reach more curious minds. The EU is grappling with an increasingly precarious energy situation. Gas prices are soaring, driven by a combination of geopolitical factors: Ukraine's halt of Russian energy transit, Qatar's cessation of gas exports to Europe, and Azerbaijan's suspension of supplies due to unexplained technical issues have all added to the pressure. Compounding these challenges are U.S. sanctions on Russian oil and gas, which have further inflated international energy prices. The result? A continent under immense economic strain, rising public dissatisfaction, and stubbornly high inflation. As if the energy crisis weren't enough, Trump's announcement of new tariffs on European goods threatens to further destabilize an already fragile economic relationship. These tariffs could have profound long-term effects, intensifying economic uncertainty and straining the EU's economic stability even more. Recognizing these needs to reduce its reliance on U.S. trade, the EU has ramped up efforts to diversify its global partnerships. Two key agreements illustrate this strategy: the EU-Mexico Trade Agreement and the EU-MERCOSUR Trade Agreement. On January 17, 2025, the EU and Mexico finalized a modernized trade agreement designed to reduce dependence on U.S. trade. This agreement is especially significant as the looming tariff policies under President-elect Donald Trump could impact European markets. One of the key benefits of this deal is the elimination of high tariffs on various EU exports to Mexico, including agricultural products such as cheese, poultry, pork, pasta, apples, jams, chocolate, and wine. This move is expected to provide a significant boost to EU agri-food exports, expanding market opportunities for these sectors. In addition, the agreement opens up enhanced access for EU companies to Mexican government contracts, investments, and service sectors such as financial services and telecommunications. Furthermore, the deal emphasizes sustainable development by including enforceable commitments on labor rights and environmental protections, ensuring both parties are aligned in their dedication to these critical issues. The agreement also strengthens supply chains for critical raw materials, which are essential for various industries, making them more secure and sustainable. However, before the agreement can be implemented, it must undergo ratification by both EU and Mexican lawmakers, and European farmers concerned about increased competition may scrutinize it closely. After 25 years of negotiations, the EU and MERCOSUR, which includes Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay, have finalized a comprehensive trade agreement. This accord aims to create one of the world's largest free trade zones, encompassing over 700 million people and nearly 25% of global GDP. The agreement plans to eliminate tariffs on more than 90% of goods traded between EU and MERCOSUR, saving EU companies approximately €4 billion annually. This is a significant development that will reduce costs for EU industries and provide greater access to MERCOSUR market. Specifically, EU industries such as automobile and chemicals will benefit from improved access, while South American agricultural products like beef and poultry will see increased entry into the EU under specific quotas. Both sides have also committed to upholding the Paris Climate Agreement and preventing deforestation by 2030, with measures in place to enforce these commitments. Despite these advancements, the agreement still requires ratification from all 27 EU member states and approval from the European Parliament. Some opposition is expected, particularly from countries with significant agricultural sectors that may feel threatened by the influx of South American goods. What are your thoughts on these trade agreements? Do they go far enough to shield the EU from potential economic fallout? Let's discuss in the comments below. To understand today's challenges, we must look back at the roots of EU-US relations, which have always been a mix of cooperation and competition. Following World War II, the United States played a pivotal role in Europe's reconstruction through the Marshall Plan, which provided financial aid to stabilize economies and foster regional cooperation. The US supported the formation of the European Coal and Steel Community, a precursor to the EU, viewing it as a means to prevent future conflicts by integrating key industries. The creation of NATO in 1949 symbolized the United States' commitment to Europe's security. This alliance, bolstered by the Truman Doctrine's promise to counter Soviet expansion, laid the foundation for a robust transatlantic partnership. Economic aid under the Marshall Plan further strengthened ties. The Cold War saw moments of divergence such as European skepticism about US involvement in Vietnam alongside collaboration in containing Soviet influence. Economic tensions also emerged, prompting Europe to assert greater autonomy, culminating in the establishment of the European monetary system in 1979. Today, the EU and the US share the world's most significant bilateral trade and investment relationship, with trade exceeding 1.5 trillion euros in 2023. Transatlantic investments support millions of jobs, highlighting deep economic ties. Despite these ties, trade disputes have frequently flared up. For example, Trump's 2018 tariffs on steel and aluminum led to EU retaliatory measures targeting politically sensitive US products. Recent disputes over digital services taxes and the high cost of US LNG have further strained relations. Collaborations in high-tech industries like aerospace and telecommunications underscore mutual reliance even amid disagreements. The re-election of Donald Trump has introduced new uncertainties to EU-US relations. However, the EU's proactive approach, diversifying trade partnerships and fostering resilience, signals a determination to adapt to changing global dynamics. While challenges remain, opportunities for collaboration and dialogue could pave the way for a more balanced and sustainable transatlantic relationship. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more deep dives into global economics and geopolitics. Thanks for watching.